Greetings, it's Intuitive Jakob back to do a reading for all 12 tribes. This reading is going to be focusing on relationships, what people are thinking, what they are feeling, and what they're being by how they're acting, and also taking a look at what the common factors are. These don't necessarily have to be any specific kind of relationships, since these readings could be for potentially a number of people. They could play out differently, so you'll have to know whether or not these are your stories, and also know your own genders and whether these are applicable. They might not resonate. Also make sure that you're not just checking your sun, but your moon and your rising sign with me, because I am more of a moon reader. Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck for most of the reading. I'll be pulling 7 cards. 2 of them are going to be for what you're thinking, what they're thinking. 2 are for what you're feeling, what they're feeling. And 2 are for what you're being, what they're being. And then the center card, the 7th card, is what the common factors are. I'll also be taking a look with the Romance Angels Oracles card for people that are interested in things that might have a personal or romantic connotation. And in some cases, I will be drawing clarifiers with La Vera Sibilla. It's my Italian everyday oracle deck. Hopefully you'll find something that's for you, and I'll be catching you on the inside of your reading. Hey, what's going on, Taurus? How you doing? It's good to see you here. Hi. How you been? Good, me too. Thanks for asking. Just getting some of your energy on these cards. It's actually the last one I'm getting to right now for this go-around of what are they thinking, feeling, doing, etc. And hoping you're doing well. These don't have to be focused on any specific relationships, just like I said in the intro. You'll know whether or not they apply for you. Go ahead and get dealt. Here's what's on your mind. It's on their mind. It's on your emotions. It's on theirs. It's on how you're being. It's how they're being. It's what y'all got in common. Sort of a disposition. Well, the Hangman was looking up at me here, and I'm hearing for some of you all, it was like frustrating, but it's like the hang in there and focus on what you know is true energy that's been getting you through something. And I'm hearing it might be really personal. They're talking about somebody's meditation time. I don't know if somebody gave you a guided meditation, but it might be helpful right now if that's what you're doing. I'm hearing for somebody, it's like how much ASMR has helped them with things that they hear, and like feeling like a certain kind of prayer has been getting answered by you focusing on your meditative space, where it's like almost like somebody's giving you a massage, hearing your energy. So if that's the case, way to go. I love ASMR. Some of my favorite people that I've been enjoying for ASMR are actually in my liked. If you ever look here on this channel, things that I like, I'll just openly like them there so you can see what they are. But ASMR Darling has been doing a lot of really cool things that I have found really helpful personally. The hallways, I would say I don't know why I'm like getting this like nudge just to say, you see any of the hallways where she's like changing clothes and stuff like that? There's something about that that's giving people like safe mirrors, I'm hearing, because I was talking to people about just different phobias and fears that they've had, and one that I can share with you is fear of mirrors and feeling like somebody was looking at them, and just like dysmorphia, like looking at your body and not feeling comfortable or confident, and sometimes it was like feeling like you were being perceived. And I will just say, if you're one of those people that has been going through that, I really recommend ASMR Darling's Hallways. She's got somewhere she just shows like her fashion and stuff, and there's something that goes into those hallways that I've been noticing. It's kind of like, it's like closing that energy gate. So for some of y'all, that's going to be really good, especially if you're really sensitive and you're feeling things around you, or if you get like I do, where it's like things will itch you in your clothes and you need to like take out the tags and stuff. You might get into ASMR. Just a tip. All right, so let's see what's going on here. I'm going to check out what's going on in your mind here, Taurus. This is really weird. Okay, so I shuffled these cards quite a bit, and you have the same card in the same position that Aries had here, and I'm hearing you might be dealing with the same people. Something was coming up earlier too with my Pisces reading about an Aries / Taurus person. Maybe you have both in your chart, or you're dealing possibly with somebody that has both in their chart. Something might be coming to light about something that they did in front of everybody that nobody's been able to talk about yet. I'm hearing it's like, it's been going on. Here in this situation, I'm hearing 6-7 months easy. I'm hearing maybe that's like why you've been meditating, taking some time out to make sure that what you're hearing is also what you're seeing around you, because it's a weird trust situation with some of you all, and it might be because of what you do for work. So I'm hearing if you're not being devious because of this showing up here, it might be that you're just trying to do something that other people won't know about. So it's kind of like, how do I be obviously in front of you and do what I need to do secretly where people might not know, but they see me? And getting an itchy hand here, it's like you're having to do it to protect something that might have gotten stolen, or like you're afraid somebody's going to take something back. It's really weird. My left hand just started itching, and I don't know, getting weird feelings about it. See what's going on in their mind here, Taurus. Knight of Swords. So Knight of Swords, you might be dealing with an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra person. Whoever this is somebody that's like in a hurry to communicate, and I'm hearing for somebody it's like they're a really good communicator, and you've been trying to figure out how to be discreet about your communications with them. And I'm hearing for somebody it's like you really only talk in the cloud. It's like, I don't know if you're sending like private text messages. This was like, for me, this is going on like Telegram sometimes to send private messages to somebody, or like WhatsApp or something. But I'm hearing about like communications that happen up front, but also not. They're showing me it's like, hey, you see me doing this right here, but what you don't see is what these actually mean and why they're there. And why I don't move them from there, because I could have taken everything, is what I'm hearing. So somebody's got a calculation on this. I would say be careful too, because it's almost like learning how to communicate with somebody that's like a really good communicator. And I'm hearing it's like touche. And I'm hearing for somebody else too, it's like, this is a bad one. I'm getting, it's like somebody tried to take somebody's leg out from under them, is what I'm hearing. It's like, I don't know what that means. You'll know if that's for you or not, but I'm hearing somebody, totally different situation here, might have thought they got away with something they did to this person. I'm hearing they thought they stranded this person, but somebody saw what they did. We'll see what else is going on here. All right, because this could be potentially many different people. A lot of different stories coming up here, Taurus. Your feelings. 10 of Swords. So this is like the end of something, especially if you found out somebody was like backstabbing you. I'm hearing it's like realizing that you had somebody that was like heckling you right to your face that you didn't realize was like heckling you. It's like a weird thing. It's like you had somebody that would literally show up with the knife, but they were getting away with it because of what you all were doing openly. And it's kind of violent though, because it's like people just left you there. It's like I hear like it's like if this happened to you, if this is like an emotional thing, it's like maybe like realizing that people would be willing to take those shots just because they could. It's like they would just leave you like that is what I'm hearing. And it's like a tough realization for somebody on what was a rough relationship that they didn't see clearly. And I hear that this is like, I don't want to say you're coming to Jesus, but it's like somebody's like quiet prayer time where they're meditating, where they're learning to sort this out. Because it's like something has pushed somebody to the end here. And I'm hearing it might just be like not having emotions for something that you know is going on. And it's like, it's almost like somebody is playing like a double agent in their own world. But it's like, I'm hearing for some of you, it's like, you know, there's this situation going on, or that it's been going on, but you're like willing to endure it and keep going on with it. And I don't know if you're just like being very stubborn, which is very possible. But they're also saying it's like you're trying to outsmart somebody at something that they don't think that you are emotionally equipped to handle. It's like almost like out of spite, like for somebody underestimating you is what I'm hearing. And this is all like mental kind of energy too, because this is swords, this is swords, this is swords. This is like dealing with the communication parts of people's lives where they have air elements. So you might be dealing with somebody that's Aquarius, Libra, Gemini showing up here. It could be more than one person, but I'm hearing it's like somebody's kind of like at the end of their rope, and I'm hearing it's like I'm kind of ready to just cut some of these things off because it's not worth it, and there's really nowhere else to go after this card. It's like somebody's literally dead there, bloodied, like on the ground, face down, and the sun's finally starting to come up. So I'm hearing it's like some of you have been working too hard because of whatever's been going on and not sleeping enough. You know, I'm hearing it's like if you're dealing with a project, it's been like people that show up to your face like they're there, but they're a lot of work is what I'm hearing. I'm also hearing that it's like if you do have a secret friend that you're talking to, you're spending a lot of time communicating, but it's like you're not resting very well. There's not a lot of rest showing up here. Somebody's in like mental agony here too, because it's like you're trying to think your way out of something here. Let's see what's going on over here on their side. All right, King of Cups in reverse. So somebody's either blocked emotionally or they're really upset about something that made them emotional, because the King of Cups is the one who knows how to behave himself emotionally, and sometimes he might even just seem really cool no matter what's going on because he's been through so much. I don't want to say he's hardened, but he's like sitting on a chair that looks like it's like cement. That one really doesn't look too cushy to me. Just like floating on the water that looks turbulent around him, and he's just like, whatever, you know? When he's like this, sometimes he's prone to things like excessive emotionalism, sometimes to the point where he'll completely block even, other times where he'll just gush. Depends on who this is. I say he lightly, she, they, other, could be, but I'm seeing a Knight and a King here. If this isn't the same person, you might have multiple people here showing up, but if they drink, it's like it can get messy sometimes when they're upside down with the water like this. You know, it's like somebody falling off the wagon, you know? But this could even be multiple different people that you're dealing with. You know, this could resonate on many different levels. Depends on which Taurian you are, but just keep that. The other thing too is this could be dealing with somebody. You could be in a relationship with this person is what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing that if it's not like alcohol or things like that, it's emotional. It's emotionalism, and it's like I'm seeing somebody like trying to play stoic up here with how they communicate and how they show up in life, but it's like emotionally they're feeling void is what I'm hearing. But that could be due to distance and whatever this communication is. It looks like it might be kind of covert and maybe keeping somebody up all night. I'm hearing it's like possibly a lot of text messages, but they're saying for somebody it's like unwritten communication. It's more like telepathy and messages that cover things. But I'm hearing it's like you can't cover it too much because it's like what people saw in the daylight. It's like what people will see is obvious, and it's like the dark clouds are coming off. It's like it's starting to get bright here. And so it seems like a situation that might have been progressing on you. And maybe that's why you're looking at this too, especially if there hasn't been clear communication with these people. I'm hearing one situation that's like this person here might have observed something. This was coming up a little bit with the Aries too. You might want to check that, especially if you're dealing with somebody with Aries or you have some Aries in your chart, Taurus, because this card did just come up here, and I'm hearing if there's like a third party situation where somebody had witnessed something. It's like they saw somebody doing something, and it's not that they're trying to be emotional. It's that they're trying not to pry. It's like it's something that did make them emotional, and they did not feel like they could speak up about it. It was like, just like, wow, I wasn't here. I kind of witnessed it, and not having whatever it is that they needed to feel like they needed to step up and say something. Perhaps yet. They might. It depends on what's going on. I was hearing about some other things yesterday with some legal situations where somebody was really going to get brave and actually show up and like send some information forward for somebody. But I feel like if this isn't like a legal thing like that it's, and it might be, it still could be, I guess, that the person that you're inquiring about here might have seen something happen, and I'm hearing that this might not be them. They might have actually seen this Knight of Swords, whoever this is, whether or not they have air in their chart. I just heard Aries again, but it would be Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, and whatever happened here that they might have witnessed. But I'm hearing that this person might have an ID on somebody that got away with something or tried to get away with something, especially if it's like how they were attacking somebody in the open, because I hear it's like something they were doing to somebody. It's like almost like if they're heckling you and you don't know it. It's like if you had like a hater that was like came back with like a different ID and that was like playing nice, but you'd already shut them down before and you didn't know it. It's like some weird catfishing kind of stupid vibe that I'm getting for somebody big time. And so for whoever that is, that's like some petty nonsense, and that's the kind of shit that gets caught, especially now that we have much better surveillance. And so just putting some salt on that. That's a selenite wand there. Let's see what's going on with how you're being. Taurus. Alright, so Two of Swords reverse. I like this. This is like, cut it out with the not talking, because this is like somebody that's ready to speak up. I'm hearing for some of you kind of need to be a bitch a little bit. Like, excuse me, but sometimes you need to speak up and like be willing to say something where somebody might just be nasty about being on the recipient end of well-communicated words that might result in you being called a bitch even though you're not being a bitch. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes people have to be specific about how they say things, and then the retaliation, like the worst that it could be is like somebody calling you a bitch or shitty or taking an attitude because you spoke up about maybe something that felt abusive, perhaps, or something that you witnessed. But I'm hearing for some of you, I'm really liking this, the Two of Swords being here in reverse, because it's like whatever you were thinking about and like blocking your heart from, especially if you were like protecting your heart and not being emotional about something that was like really like wearing on you in some kind of way, because that is 10 swords in the back. When this card shows up like this, it's like whatever you heard, whatever was in the dim light of the moon, and while you were checking in with your inner, is like you've gotten to the point where if you had to make a decision, especially if you're weighing out pros and cons, that you're like in the position to speak up about something. So I'm hearing that's good, that you're like not closed off about that, because it might be your time, especially if you've really been meditating on that. Curious what this is. Something's showing me here. Yeah, okay, so the 10 of Wands was kind of sticking out underneath there. I just had to see that. That's a back-breaking energy. And then that's another 10 here. It's like all out, inflamed, and invested in something, in doing it maybe too hard. I'm hearing it's been like too much work for some things. And so it's like getting that point where you realize that you had to make a decision about these two things. And maybe you've made that decision now. So let's see what they've got going on here. How are they being? Okay, so 3 of Pentacles. This I like. This, for me, right now, is like 3 people at work here. Now, for somebody, I'm really liking it, because it's saying that whoever this person is might be really good to work with, especially if you were looking to have a discussion about something that you needed to do, or a change in your business partnership, is what I'm hearing. Because I'm hearing for some of you, it's like realizing that you had a couple, like, you had some help, but it might have been taking things that you didn't want to give. It's like you're having to be covert about something you don't want to be covert about, is what I'm seeing here. It's like there's like this secret kind of communication going on here, and it's like it's taking a lot of energy, is what it looks like. And so it's like you need to talk to somebody about it. I think that this person might go well with that. This is speaking a lot to career for me. For some reason, I'm hearing about some of these like business entanglements, and I'm hearing it's like in some cases you have some partners that they're going to be really good. They're going to be good showing up at this time. But you're going to need to talk to them. If this is like somebody you haven't communicated with, it's like it's time to communicate on this. That's looking pretty good. I'm hearing for somebody else, though, it's like just be careful, because you know that there are at least a couple people that maybe you can't trust too much, that are like, we're getting away with something. And they might have been doing it openly, like with a heckling situation. And so not everybody that's going to show up like they're cooperative with you is somebody you want to deal with, especially if they have like some kind of emotional angle on you. It's like, I see this like upside down king here, and it's like he's just kind of looking for something maybe that hasn't filled up his cup, and he might be willing to really fight for it and show up as a friend, but he also might be not worth the emotional stress, depending on who he is and what kind of angle he is and how honest he is, etc. I'm saying he lightly again. I'm speaking to the gender that I'm seeing this individual being spoken to me as. So what I'm hearing, at least. But you're going to know your own genders and whether or not that's for you. Let's see what the center card is saying. What do you have in common? 3 of Cups. So for some of y'all, this is the problem, is that there are triangulated situations. I've got like these 2 3s here, and I'm hearing for some of y'all it's like gossip and like why you have to be careful how you're communicating. Also how people would like to drink sometimes around you. I'm hearing it's like And it might not be you, it might be how people drink around you and some of the things that they say. And I'm hearing it's like, sometimes you just feel like how you need to excuse yourself is what I'm hearing. It's like excusing yourself from them. And just knowing when to call it. It's like, that can be challenging. Another thing that I'm seeing, though, is that in a situation where maybe you're tired of playing covert like that, it might be a good time to try to get together. And it might be good to have a third person there. You know, it might be okay. Maybe you have people in common, you know, friend or something. But this can be a very social energy. This can be people getting out for a bite to eat or cocktails or whatever people do. I do like it, and it is upright, and so I'm not feeling terrible about it. It's just that there is a little bit of a two-faced vibe that's coming through some of this, depending on who you have showing up in your friend circles. Just put it that way. All right, so yeah, my nose is itching too. It's like I feel like somebody has like people talking about them a lot. It's just whatever it is. It's like you're on display, and it's like they're taking shots at somebody's body is what it is. It's like, I don't know what it is, but it's like I'm hearing like conversations about like, oh, your hair, and like, why did you do this, and you know, critiquing on somebody's clothes or something. And so, you know, just be careful. Social media can be like really hectic, and yeah, I like dealing with people that I meet in real life a lot of times. You know, it's like those are my friends and stuff. Focusing on that, it's like, if you've been on social media a lot, I mean, bless you, you know, it can just be hectic, especially if you have a lot of attention on you for things, and there might be false friends around, or people that are just like taking a lot of time, and you don't really have like the emotional spoons to deal with them here. Because honestly, I'm looking here with a personal / romance card here next, and this is not romantic energy here at all, at least on this side. It looks like somebody that like really has been like under maybe some emotional void and like mental duress, and like maybe needing to talk to somebody more than anything else. And I'm seeing that if they were lamenting something or thinking about a relationship, it's like knowing that they got cheated to something. Maybe it was like time or like scheduling or something, but it's a lot of mental energy. And let's see what these cards will say. What will help our Taurus today? Because I know some of y'all do want love and romance, and some of you are in happy relationships, I'm sure. But I just see like some kind of interference here for a lot of you right now, especially with a third party. Okay. Make the effort. You and Aries again. That's the same card they got too. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take, Taurus. It's like two little children, and one of the children is caressing the other, giving her a hug. Looks like he's gonna plant a kiss on her face. It's like sweet, you know, it's like innocent. And I'm hearing for some of y'all, this is like clear the air time with somebody, because you might have a friend here that you can talk to if there's somebody you needed to talk to about something. I'm hearing they might know how to be confidential too, which is like important, especially if you have something where you're not sure if somebody was taking advantage of your situation, is what I'm hearing. It's like not knowing if they're your real friend, right? That can be really hard. I'm hearing about somebody that got the law sent to their house. It's like a neighbor called about something. Yeah, somebody's gonna have like a legal trouble about that. Especially if they like, I'm hearing it's like somebody they might have cut off on the road, and they might have been looking for somebody's car. It's like, but that a neighbor had called about something else, and I don't know. Just hearing about it not going well for that person. because it's like whatever they said was not honest. And it's too easy to get caught with things like that, you know what I mean? Alright, well, make the effort showing up for you, Taurus. And get a few Sibilas to give us some advice on what that might mean or anything else that we might need to know right now. Speranza. So, this here is like somebody who got tired of waiting for something. Speranza is something that is worth waiting for. And that 7-7 right there talks lots of timing right now. And it's like a message coming through. I'm hearing it's like somebody was waiting for something. They might have given up. Dottore. So, this is somebody healing or administering healing. This could be the healer. This could be somebody that's needing healing. And then we have Gran Consolazione. This one here showing up in reverse. So I'm hearing that you might really want to reach out to whoever this doctor is. Some of you, here we go. L'Alegria. That is 3 people going for drinks. That could very well be what this is here. Another mirror of your 3 cups. I'm hearing there might be some mutual friends or whatever that you have, and I'm hearing for somebody it's like you might just need, like, I don't recommend this with people. I'm not the guy that says go have a drink and get loaded and make a phone call. I do know that sometimes people have a glass of wine or have a drink or something and make that phone call and that text or whatever. Sometimes it's a cup of coffee, you know? Sometimes it's a big glass of milk. Sometimes that's what I do. But anyway, I'm hearing for you, especially if this is you, or if this is something you were waiting to do. It's like there's a distance here. I'm feeling like somebody might have like an overseas, or some kind of distance where the communication hasn't been very clear, and somebody needs to open their heart up. I'm just like seeing her like trying to go open chested here, but it was blocked somehow. And you see somebody here is tired, perhaps of waiting and finally being relieved, but here, maybe this is pending. And I see this person needing healing here in the middle. They called on the doctor, whoever the doctor is, that can show up and, read the pulses and know what to do. I'm hearing that person might be worth making the effort for, especially if you're finding yourself in a situation where there's like 3 or more people that you can rely on. I'm hearing maybe just even 2 or 3. They're saying there's like one. You're thinking about one that gives you that relief there. And my guess is that that's the one that's maybe having the private communications with you, especially if there's like a time thing going on. And yeah, it's like they're showing me somebody's work being turned upside down right now. You're going to know if that's you. Cards just keep showing up. Judgment showing up right. I'm hearing for somebody, this is like knowing that you need to do some kind of travel to fix this, but for somebody else, it's just literally making the effort and possibly opening up whatever it was that was pulling at your heartstrings. Because that's sometimes what I see this card for, and it was showing up in reverse, so it's like either something that had you blocked or might be kind of lingering from the past that maybe you didn't have a way to articulate until now, but it seems like if this is an indication, you've thought about it enough. You've maybe gone back and forth about it enough. You've maybe stayed up all night feeling kind of like, oh my God, it's the morning again, and now I need to go and make sure I'm like here in front of whatever it is that I've got to do in my day, even if there's sneaky shit going on and I'm not always sure what to say. So hopefully this is helpful for you, Taurus. You might need a private reading too. If you do, please hit me up, artoflove.me. If you go to book.artoflove.me, you can get in my schedule nice and easy too. If I don't hear from you, take care, have a good one, and we'll catch you again when we're back for another one. Bye for now.